Hello! How are we doing, everybody? Who do we have in the chat? We'll just turn this down. Okay. Cool. I think we're all good. Water. Whoop! Alright, a lot more crypto, welcome. Alina, welcome. Krasin86, welcome. Griff, Heisenberg, welcome everybody. It's been a week. I did a live stream last week. Yeah, it feels like longer. It feels like longer that I've last done like a public stream, because I'm so used to doing them all the time. But it's been a while. So it's good to be back. Good to be back in front of the charts. We have some price action to discuss. It's been the first time in a while that we've really had any like half decent movement here. So nice move. Nice move, taking out the previous week high, which is what we had been aiming for as we went into this week, to take out these highs. Just missed it yesterday. Or whenever it was, Monday. Had a bit of a consolidation, but was holding relatively well. Swept some nice lows this morning, and now finally coming on to hit target. So there's not a whole lot of resistance left on the chart at this stage now. This has been holding really nicely within this range. Now obviously we do have a situation where this could potentially look like it did back here, with a high being made, lower high, you come and sweep the lower high, and then we look at a deeper correction. And then what we've got within this mini range, high being made, lower high, sweep the high. Could we be looking at a correction before higher? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, all is looking okay so far. It's been mainly a spot-led rally, which is healthy. And the open interest suggests that we could be seeing a little bit more from this. So yeah, a lot of the last week we've just been staying patient, waiting. Music's a bit high volume. Okay, let's turn it down. Boop, 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 boop. Better? Is that clearer? That should be okay. Hopefully that's better. It's at minus 24 dB, so it should be okay. If you guys can just let me know if it's... yeah, okay, good. Turned it down my end as well, because it's a little bit distracting. Yeah, looking alright. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. And, how many likes do we have? It doesn't really... yeah, 3 likes. Come on, guys. Smash the like button. Music can't be too loud. I just turned the music down. I'll end up with like no music in a minute. Unless you're watching on a delay or something. Alright, turn it down even more. Batzorig Ganbold liked. Thank you very much. We got 12 likes. We're getting a few more. Odin, yeah, music's too low now. I'll just have to like permanently... no, it's fine. I'm leaving it where it is. I'm not touching the music volume anymore. We are going to make do with how it is. And I'm also just going to make sure I have this page. There we go, that's open. This one can go back to this page. Alright, cool, we are good to go. Nudge, hello! So, Yeah. I mean, okay, all right, let me start off with a little bit of analysis here, because I guess it is time to do a bit of an update where we have come from, where we may be going next. It feels like we've just been in this range since forever, and it's getting very boring now. It will be nice to try and let's see if there can finally be a bit of excitement again, because honestly, it's just, I mean, we've been in this range since February, 28th of February. I'm drawing this range as starting from, because essentially that is where we put in those first lows, and then we had the markup in price, March, and here we are in June, still in the same range, like 4 months later. And it's really, really, really boring. And it's been so difficult. Like every time we do a trading room, or every time I do a stream, it's like, all right guys, we're at the POC, we're at the same price as we were last time, and the time before that, and the time before that. So hopefully now we're in the process maybe of seeing a bit of a breakout, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Like I said, this could easily fail here. We've just taken previous week highs. It is a very obvious opportunity in which to start looking to short the market, but we'll take it step by step, and we'll have a look at what happens. So, from the recent price action that we've had, we had the entire week of just consolidating around the point of control. So we had this POC down here. We were just consolidating around that point of control for the whole of last week, after putting in that high on the Monday, drop back down, consolidate around the point of control, spike highs, spike lows, sideways, 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 sideways. Probably the most sideways I've ever seen price action. Like the tiniest little, like if anyone was watching this over the weekend, it was like what, like a $20 range. It was just like just completely flat, doing absolutely nothing. And finally we get a bit of a pickup on that Sunday night into Monday. And here we are, Tuesday. Oh, it's only Tuesday. It feels like this week's been long already because of how little everything's been doing. But yeah, Tuesday. And we're getting a bit of a move higher now. So there's been decent reasons to believe that we could be going higher. Of course, we put in the low, which was our yearly VWAP. We then had that first consolidation, which came down to backtest the monthly open. Continuation higher, holding this VWAP along here, getting the move up. And it was around about this point in which our volume profile, that point of control, shifted up, testing it, shifts up again. What we're seeing now being relatively bullish. Okay, what we've seen in the past is a POC that's been moving down as the market's been moving down. And now the point of control is moving higher, which means value is being found higher. There's acceptance of prices being higher. So the volume's pointing up, the POC's been moving up. Our VWAPs are now moving up. There's no moving averages above price that can weigh it down. There's no VWAPs above price that can weigh it down. There's no major volume above price that can weigh it down. It is just a case of liquidity, fake outs, stopping people out. So we're back to that scenario now where there is a really good opportunity, having been in a range for such a long time, that we can start to see a decent breakout towards higher prices. So you have this nice correction. We break up, we get the shallow retrace. This is something I always speak about again. You want to be seeing that shallow retrace. Didn't even come into the 382 from this high. Okay, so you don't like to see it go any lower than that. Not really allowing people that have been sidelined from here the opportunity to get back in, and then looking for a move higher. Now, if this does reject, I still do feel that we're looking good here. This could roll over, it could take out some lows, it could test this VWAP again, and we could still be looking at higher prices. And that just extends the range on a bit longer. But with this break that we've seen today, having broken out of this like second little consolidation that we've had, so far so good on this move, and seeing if it can continue higher here. So where we are locally, okay, I say locally, but 4-hour time frame, you've got a little gap on the 4-hour. So it'll be quite interesting to see where this closes in the next hour or just under 2 hours time. So if we do get a close through this gap, you've effectively, having come in and tested it once, you had this double top here, price coming out, taking out this double top. If we can close through that gap inside this order block that was from back in the 21st of May, then we have a decent probability of price coming up to take out these highs. Okay, it gives us a rather high likelihood that price comes up, sweeps these highs here, at the very least. And then of course we're looking towards these highs, the all-time high and that 72,500 high that we put in way back, way back in April. Now if we do close below, right, it does set up for decent shorts. Okay, what we don't really want to see at this stage is seeing this as a bigger rejection. All right, we end up getting caught back down here, unable to get back above the 70,600, and then we've got a ton of lows down here that can all go very, very quickly. So you start to run stops down here, you got lows here, here. All of this could go really, really quite quickly. So whatever happens, I think some kind of speeding up of price action now, after we've just seen this move. So right now, for myself, holding on to my longs. I'm out of my head short position, so I took profit on my short this morning. This was during the trading room. We came down and swept a local low. So we came down here. Zoom in a little bit more. This was during the trading room this morning. Equal lows here on Coinbase. But yeah, came down, took out these lows 9:30 a.m. this morning whilst we were doing the trading room. Good opportunity in which to take profit from the short position that was taken yesterday. And then getting a decent bounce, the rest of my short being stopped at break even. And seeing now this continuation higher. Above here, you've got a couple of levels that I would be aware of. First of all being the midpoint of this order block. So that is where I've got my next alert. Okay, 71,131.85 is 70,130, 70,150. And then we've got a monthly level. This hasn't been tested. It wasn't tested last month. So far hasn't been tested this month. No, it was tested last month, sorry. We were looking at the close, the possibility of it getting closed there last month. So still valid. Monthly level from back here. Where is it? There it is. This is where we rejected last month. Still looking at this as a reasonable area in which to be looking. Maybe at taking short positions with invalidations then at these highs. So we're left with like seeing these highs here, 1, 2, 3, all together. We've not yet taken any of them. But then there's a monthly level to be looking at here. So if we do continue higher, resistance above us is kind of clear, right? Okay, we've got these two highs. And this one over here. Let me draw this like this. Let me draw this like this. Come on. Something like that. Candles don't lie, you love equal highs. Yeah, I mean, you can say this is equal enough, right? When you're looking at Bitcoin having been up here, been around here for so long, with these three highs that have been put in, they're equal enough, right? It's not, I mean, we've moved through a bigger range than this today, than what we're seeing, the gap between these ones. What you do have to be aware of course, is we do have lots of lows that are looking very similar. But yeah, it's decent. It's okay here. It's doing okay. It's doing okay. So fingers crossed. This is the real move now that we're seeing. Of course, there's confluence if we do get caught back below this 70k zone, back below previous week high. That's coming again back into value area. And if you're back under value area, then you're looking back towards the point of control, and so on. The screen's so bright. That's better. Odin, I want to get drunk. Becca. No, guys, it's a Tuesday night. Come on. If we break all-time highs, okay, what I'll do, we'll do a little celebration when Bitcoin breaks all-time high again, which is gonna happen pretty soon, I hope. Like, I mean, it could go through a whole summer of just being boring and like continuing to range all the way around here, and then we go through July and August and September and we're still stuck in this stupid little range or big range that we've been in for ages. I mean, it's been fine to trade. It's actually been really profitable to trade. It's just boring. Then we'll do a little celebratory stream when we do break above all-time highs, because I think at that stage, like, if that's gonna happen and we've spent 4 months almost sideways, the markup's going to be quite considerable. Like, you don't see really a situation like this if we look back at what's happened previously. Okay, we did have a long range here that broke up, swept highs, and then came all the way back down. You could call this something similar, but I think with the market the way that it is right now, after having consolidated for so long, I'm feeling okay about this. We just do have to be aware that it's the same time of year, same time of thing as last year, when we did have this April-May sideways. We break out, everyone expects continuation, it doesn't happen, and then we're still sideways going in towards the end of the year, and it's not until October that things really start getting interesting again and starting to pick back up. But we can't really look that far forward into the future yet. Candles don't lie. Just curious, do you have any thoughts on Gala at all? Not really trading, but just your opinion. I haven't looked at a Gala chart. I can't remember the last time I looked at a Gala chart. We can have a look at that in a minute. I mean, it would be nice to look at some altcoins. We can have a look quickly at the order flow and everything, just wrap up on Bitcoin, see what's going on here. And then we'll switch over, take a look at the alts. So BTC, we were talking about this on the trading room earlier. So liquidation levels, all right, price yesterday coming up, taking out a nice number of liquidations yesterday. Of course, this isn't an exact science, it's just telling us where there are liquidations that are likely to be. The algorithm telling us this stuff. Again, here we do have these equal lows that were formed. There is a bunch of liquidations down there just above 68. All right, 68,400 if we don't continue higher, but having come up and taken out these ones and how this is looking right now, there are quite a few people going long here, but I think yeah, longs are in the money, and as long as they remain in the money, that's okay. When we look at the CVD, then we can see this has been spot led. So again, we were talking about this morning in the trading room. Okay, you have perps just chopping around, creating some bullish divergences. Spot just continuously holding here and continuing to hold and hold and hold. And then we're seeing this rise in price. Spot price is continuing higher. And again, it does look right now that we are going to take these highs again. Okay, everything looking healthy. You've got a little bit of weakness here from perps, right? So people shorting the dip or closing out of long positions on the dip mainly. There goes the high. Second time, I'm taking that again. And once again, there comes in a bunch of short liquidations here as well. So we've run a few more short stops, a few more shorts being stopped, a few more shorts getting liquidated, creating this little spike in delta up here. And spot still looking okay. All right, no immediate rejection at this stage. You're fine if you're just chilling out here for a little bit. No immediate rejection off of this high so far. Have a look at this chart. Nice once again to see the spot leading. Clean this up. Delta, as you would expect, open interest been rising throughout most of this move. Now open interest rising, delta rising, price rising, signal strength within the market. So as long as the increase in OI and the increase in delta is having an effect on price, which clearly it is because we have been rising this afternoon, the price has been going up. So the positions that are opening are in the money. And really you'd have to say, unless it starts to like get caught below where it was before this latest move up here. So as long as the longs opening within here are okay, and that means at this stage holding 69,400, then support looks pretty strong. And I think higher prices is likely. We're still moving up here. We're still looking good for now. I mean, you can scalp, maybe little like scalps, little SFPs off of this. Maybe target some kind of corrective move. Back down 70,200. Continuation after that. How would that look on the chart? Could play out. We are approaching that midpoint of this order block. But yeah, this is all right. Check the order flow. There's your previous week high. Throw the footprint on. Not much to say. Not much to say. Get back onto the Coinbase chart. It's looking a bit nicer. AZTV short 71.2 to 71.4. Okay. 71.2 to 71.4, yeah. I mean, if you're going to short, that would be the place to do it because you've got a real easy invalidation at the highs, right? If you can catch a short in here monthly and you're just going, you know what? We've got these three highs, and if that starts to change, then maybe my buyers will change. But ultimately, you could be targeting back down here, couldn't you? You could aim all the way back down to 64 to run all of this. So, I mean, if you're going to look for a short, is there. I just think for myself personally, I would rather wait to see a little bit of weakness. And let's say if there was a trade that was here, and then we know that there's a local high that's been put in, and then you can aim for the same kind of result, then you get about the same risk to reward, but probably increases the probability of it being profitable at that stage once you've seen some weakness. It's like what we saw here when we saw strength from the market, and then you know that it's easier to bid into this area than to try and knife catch at the lows. And in the same instance, it's easier to kind of sell once you've seen a bit of weakness rather than try to catch the highs. Although having like looked at this from when you zoom out, it's still not a very big move, is it? The move itself is, it's just been toying with us for such a long time that price goes up by a couple of percent and we're like, oh my god, look, we're pumping. Ah! But we're only up 3%, so I want to see more. Like, where's these 10% God candles? Come on. We're due one, right? I know we had one. I know we've had them recently, but we're due them again. We are due another God candle. You got 1, 2, 3. Let's get another one right here. Let's turn this into one of those big old beastie bullish candles. Please. For our sanity. And yeah, altcoins are separate to that, so we can have a look at alts. I want to look at BTC, ETH, BTC. So on Ethereum, I have been expecting a breakdown. All right, so what would be really nice on this? Yesterday, this was as it was making just like a head and shoulders kind of thing up here, right? Losing that momentum. Ethereum just not looking like it was really ready for the move. And I'd really like to see a move down to like 0.052 or 0.05 here on Ethereum. That's the area on which I would look to start buying again, because the thing is, you can be long on ETH, and if Bitcoin's moving up, like if we look on the USD chart, then Ethereum's moving up as well, but there isn't really, you wouldn't choose to be long ETH right now rather than Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin's where to be because that's the one that's doing the move, and the rest of the market, apart from a few altcoins, which I am going to go over in just a second, are generally underperforming on this particular pump. So Bitcoin moving up with altcoins moving down. Bitcoin taking a lot of the liquidity right now. However, if we were to see a drop from Ethereum, that brings us back in, you can see how it was support for ages. And then like 1, 2, 3, 4 times resistance. If it can come back down here, 0.052 to 0.05, it looks like a nice opportunity to start being like, right, okay, now it's Ethereum's time to play catch up. Now, if Bitcoin's been moving up, then you'd be looking for longs. And yeah, that'll be the time for which I think Ethereum, you'd like to see it catching up. But there are alts that I do think can outperform. So basically, this is the first cycle we've had where we've had like Bitcoin ecosystem altcoins to play. So what we've seen previously, of course, when Ethereum was doing well in previous cycles, that's when a lot of the DeFi stuff was happening. That's when a lot of the NFT stuff was happening. So we saw the likes of Uniswap, all of those, a lot of the ETH staking platforms, CRV doing really well. Layer 2s like Phantom and other, that's another layer 1, isn't it? But you get the idea. A lot of those kind of things were running together. What we're seeing now, even if we do see an overall rise in Bitcoin dominance, right, there are now Bitcoin altcoins which you can use as like a little bit of extra exposure into the Bitcoin ecosystem. So that's where I'm feeling quite bullish now, and I've had some really nice trades in the last couple of weeks that's been based around that narrative that, okay, the next leg I think will be a bigger Bitcoin-led move before we see the ETH ETF being priced in again. We had the hype with it. It's now time to cool off, and then of course once the next forms and everything get filled out for the ETH ETF, then we can have another cycle where that starts to price in Ethereum. But ETH ecosystem starting to look really good. So within that, there's some that I'm looking at quite closely. So Stacks, first of all. So Stacks is a ETH layer 2. And yeah, part of the Bitcoin ecosystem, could be something that we could see outperforming Bitcoin even when Bitcoin's moving. Stacks has given some really good trades in the past. I quite like it as a token. I've taken some good trades on this previously, so it's in my good books. I'm happy with it. I have a spot bag of this, and basically at this stage, anything around about that $2, if it can pull back here on these, I mean, we're still looking fairly high time frame, but if we can pull back to around about $2, I would be looking for swing long positions here. That could then send us to wherever it might decide to go next. So looking at some kind of trade like this. There's also ordinals. So another BTC ecosystem play. I'm in the long already. I have shared this on Twitter. I've shared this with the crew. So anyone that's in the crew, I know there's a lot of people that are in this trade. We've had to be patient. All right. I took this trade way back on May the 7th. All right. We were underwater for a week or two. Came back to hit take profit 1. Came back to entry, a second opportunity to get in, an opportunity to compound back on May the 24th. Coming up here, hitting that take profit 2. And now we're going for this real, like, this is what I've been saying again. These altcoins that have a lot of space to move into to the upside, I think we're going to start to see some really nice moves from those. And there are quite a few that are out there. So ordinals being one of the ones that's been really, really good. We hit another take profit on Lido. Was it Lido? No, Lena today. So that hit full target. Again, we're looking at like ordinal stacks being somewhere around here. And then this is what I mean. As soon as you start to move through it, it's fast, right? It just trades through the entirety of the move down. Now, of course, this is pulling back a lot, but we've closed the trade now, so it's all good, right? It went well beyond what our target was. Okay. Opportunity to close out of the trade. You've hit 1, 2, 3 and a bit take profit levels. Big profit being made on this. Close the trade, and now it can dump. It's cool, it's chill. I'm happy with that. And then another thing to be looking at is runes. Now I think the ship may have left on runes, but again, if you've been watching, if you've been paying attention, I have been bull posting runes since everyone was bearish on them. Like, go back to the middle of May, and everyone was like, runes, that was some failed experiment, what a load of shit. And that was the time to buy. So dog, runes. I'm not a fan of meme coins in general, but if there is one meme I'm champion now, it's the dog. And there's some other ones as well. They're a bit more difficult to get your hands on, but you're looking at dog, pups being a potential player. I haven't looked at that recently. Pups could be a good one. Pups not being a rune, but could be a good one to be looking at. Then there's Waddle Waddle Pengu that I've got some of, but I don't think there's a chart for that, but maybe I'll find it. And yeah, some good opportunities there right now. So what's going on? Bitcoin's still holding. This is nice. Still holding. So what's chat saying? Anything else we want to cover? Anything to go over here? Got 62 people here, only 22 likes. Let's try and get it up to 40 likes. And let's get a bit of hype in the chat. Celebrity coins. Is there a chart for this? Is anyone yeah, there is. CoinX. I actually bought Mother down here. I sold it on the same day. And sold into something that was that then ranked. But oh well. Yeah, I'm not gonna get like, I think this kind of stuff's stupid. I don't want to get involved in this kind of stuff. Like, I don't like it for crypto. Like, I don't really like, there's always memes that I like, right? And they're things that are around new narratives, because often the first tokens to test some kind of new narrative are going to be memes. It's like Dogecoin. Like, everyone loves Dogecoin, but it is a meme. Pepe being the first one that we really had on ETH that like properly took off. Solana, there are some good Solana alts, like WIF being the one that's obvious, that's probably going to last now, because it was like the first one that really shone. Maybe Bonk, actually, Bonk more so than WIF. Bonk's like the OG Sol meme. WIF's like the Shiba Inu to the Doge. Like, Doge being the first meme, and then Shiba Inu came along. WIF being the SHIB to Bonk's Doge. And then you got all these memes on other chains, and I think they're just a bit stupid. I don't want to be getting involved with them. Like, there's money to be made, but like 99.9999999999999 of them now are just going to be rug pulls. So if you miss that first wave, there's just no point now. This is the only one, like this Iggy one, the Iggy Azalea one could, I don't like it, but as first mover advantage for celebrity tokens, if everyone's going to pile in, and this one's actually shown resilience, it went through the FUD, everyone was calling her a scammer, but she got good people involved and then pumped it like another 20x. It probably will stick around at this stage, and it may end up being like, again, it's first mover advantage. So with NFTs, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and all of those kind of things, they're still around just because they were there first. And that's why I'm bullish when you look at runes, why I'm bullish on Dog, right? Not Bog, Dog. Because this is the first rune on Bitcoin. So essentially for me, this is the Bored Ape Yacht Club, or the ETH Rocks, or the, what other ones are there? Pudgy Penguins is a bit later. Be that kind of thing. This is like that for runes. So that's why I'm bullish on it. It's like the OG. The OG rune. Yeah, hit the like button. And more people talk in chat, please. Come on. I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to discuss. I'm here to look at charts. If there's anything you want me to take a look at, feel free to ask. If you have any more questions about Bitcoin or anything else, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm just going to end up talking to one guy in the comments, and that's like even more boring than Bitcoin price action has been recently. ATEC. AI Tech. What's that? BitGet. That looks okay. Let's go on, let me open up this. CoinGecko. ATEC. Because you want to look at these things from like a fundamental perspective as well. This is the same one. Yeah, it's the same one, right? What is it? Ugh. I mean, a very, very over-the-top website. Oh no! Someone's asked me about this before. Right, I recognize these guys. Someone's asked me about this before, and they like look at these people, man. Surely these are all like AI generated human beings. These aren't real people, are they? Like, come on, these are not real people. Surely. This is just something that, look, generate images of like weird looking people. They're not human. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. These aren't people. Yeah. Just really. And then this guy. Yeah, look. Paul, a natural overachiever, holds himself to exceptionally high standards in every aspect of his life. And as an ambitious entrepreneur, no way. No, I've looked at this before. I said it was a piece of shit. This is probably when it was right at the top. And I stick by that. I would not invest in this. Although technically the chart looks okay. Like, no, this is gonna, yeah, okay, you might get away with it here. And I'd say if you, like, even with projects that are scams, right? You probably do get a situation where you put in a lower high here. And then at this stage, you just get the hell out of it. So from here, maybe you can get a return of like 100%. Because it probably will end up doing something like this. But then I think after that, then they'll have their exit liquidity and then they'll rug and it'll just go to zero. I don't know, obviously, but there's, yeah, I looked at this on a stream previously and there is so many red flags on there. I'd never invest into something. Like, imagine investing in something where the founder calls himself a natural overachiever. Like, seriously? You're a natural overachiever and your market cap for your token is what? Like, where is this? What is it? Like, yeah, if you're a natural overachiever and you're still there and like outside of the top 500 market cap with like no tier 1 exchange listings. I could be really wrong. I'm only like saying first impressions on this, but I could be really wrong. It could be really good. Maybe if I look into it some more, then it's great, but I don't know. We're still going, Bitcoin? Yeah. Loopy Loo, question Luke, which do you prefer and why, please? Top Step or Apex? Top Step. Apex is shit. Top Step, 100%. Like, Apex might be cheap, but Top Step. I'm a simple guy. I like to be given as little rules as possible. Because if I have rules, I want to break them. And when you're trading a prop firm, that's not a very good thing to do, is to break the rules. So yeah, Apex haven't been paying out recently either. So they missed their last payment deadline for last month. So they haven't been paying out. Whereas Top Step pay out like the next day. Apex haven't been paying out. There's a massive backlog. They've gone too cheap. They're ruining their business. I just dropped my mouse on the floor. Right. Got it. So yeah, Top Step, 100%. I mean, Apex are probably okay, but I got some accounts of them, but Top Step. I've been using Bright Funded as well for crypto stuff recently. So just trading, like day trading Bitcoin. Bright Funded's been quite nice. Quite enjoyed trading on Bright Funded. Can I check BBUSDT? BBUSDT. Yeah, and Mint Layer. Mint Layer is one that's been on my radar. Mint Layer. That has been on my radar. I'll look at BBUSDT. What's BB? What is BB? Bounce Bit. Is it this thing? All the charts look the same. Bounce Bit. Bounce Bit. Bounce Bit. Let's find Gecko again. Bounce Bit. I'm gonna when there's a project I don't know. This is the thing I hate about this cycle. Is like last cycle I knew what everything was. This cycle I don't have. I have no idea what most stuff is. So it's nice. Oh my god. Sorry for the unlock institutional yield with Bounce Bit CE DeFi. This is BTC ecosystem, right? Dual token point of layer 1 security. Layer 1 secured by BTC. And BB leverages Bitcoin's full security with full EVM compatibility. Proof of stake, that's what I tried to say. That's too bright to read. It doesn't work. Dark mode's not working. Ah, there you go. There's a better dark mode. This is interesting. This is interesting because this does play into the narrative I was talking about of Bitcoin. I don't know the website. Who has... So you've got within here... It's hard to see when it's on dark mode. Oh, it's hard to see when it's on light mode as well. Binance, Bear Capital, Blockchain Capital, some other stuff. OKX. HTX futures. It's got some decent backing. It looks okay. And the chart looks okay as well. Obviously, like for myself, I want to see stuff when it's here. But generally speaking, if you look at this being like a second markup, if you go for your VWAP from here, you spend some time above it. Here. It's looking alright. Where's your moving averages at? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it would be a spot, like, play fundamentally for this. You haven't really done much. You're up 100% since its first accumulation. So if you're looking for like a 10x, or you think this has the potential for a 10x isn't a lot when you're in a bull market. Even from here, if you like say, okay, 10x from launch, you're going way up towards like $5, aren't you? Yeah, because you got up towards like $4 or $5 here. So if you can get something from here up towards $4 or $5, you've still got really good return in that, and that's bare minimum. Like bare minimum for something that's half decent in a bull run. Like if you don't get more than 10x, like what's the point? So yeah, that could be a good one. I'm gonna put this on my watch list just because it is Bitcoin ecosystem. I'm going to throw it into this BBUSDT KuCoin. Throw it into that. Not coin. Not is one I want to short. Memecoin. I know you've probably done really well from this, but I definitely want to take a short on. I'm eyeing it up for a short. I am certainly eyeing this up for a short. It just looks so perfect to short this now. So that to me, I mean, it could. Oh yeah, mint layer. I will look at mint layer after this. But for this, I mean, you're already up crazy amounts. I don't know what it is. I don't know what this is. And I don't really see anyone really talking about it. And it's what? Like, this is like, the market cap is huge on this thing. So the market cap for this, for not, is like... Not coin, here we go. Yeah, $2.5 billion market cap, number 55. And it's, yeah, I just, so if you look at, so not, and then ton, which again is like number 10, it's just like so fake. I just don't understand it. Yeah. So for me, it's like, okay, cool. You've had your hype, right? It's still uptrending, fine, but that looks so much like a top, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks so much like a top, and look where it is. Look at this. It's so similar to Pepe. Even like the chart is so similar to what Pepe's done recently. So you have this. Go down to 30-minute. What has it done? What has it done here? Right? You've had a big, like, high volume. Not quite a blow off top, but you've had a corrective move here. You've come back in. You've made a lower high. And what it's also done is taken out liquidity. So where you'd be marking your highs from, it's taken out this. So you can be looking, you could be looking to short this. Invalidation at the high. If it takes the high, fine. You just have a hard stop at the high. And you can run it all the way down here, which is the first point in which you'd say there's any kind of support. Like anything at all. So you've got a decent, like, 3 point something, 3 to 4R off of this, depending on where you get your entry. If you're scaling in and you're gradually going in, you might even get a little SFP off of this high. So that could be another option. You might come up and take the high just slightly, in which case it could be annoying and then you'd have to re-enter, and it's one of those. But you're looking way down for any support on this. So this is similar to why, like, I'm short on Pepe at the moment, and it looks really, really similar. So with Pepe, this was here. Pepe, right? And this is technical. This is technical. But even if it's just corrective, there's still good trades. You can still short this and make money. Like, so with this, you had a big move up. So not looks like it could be around like here, and then it's doing this. And then you're looking to come back into support. It's done that first wave. You're making the lower high, and now you're looking to short it back into support. And then it's the same thing here. You have a big impulse up. You've made the lower high. It's come into a gap, filled imbalances. Okay. Take the short position and validation at the high, and then you're looking to trade it back down into support. Now this wouldn't be bearish for a long term. You're just testing previous resistance as support. But there's not a lot of assets out there where you can get good high probability short setups. So when you're looking at them, stuff like this is maybe what you've got to be looking at. So you go back to this again, and you have the potential for something that starts to look very, very, very similar. You're just taking it back into support, not long-term bearish. It can do this, and you correct, and then you go on and make another high later. Yeah. But when there's so much stuff, like most of the market's like here right now, isn't it? So you can't really short this stuff because it's just low enough as it is. So something to bear in mind for sure. Where there are opportunities, something like this is looking really good for short. Mint layer. ML. This is the one, right? ML USDT. Does it have perps? No. Mint layer I have been looking at. I need to look at it fundamentally again. I need to see if it's worthy of a watch list. But mint layer I've been seeing a lot of chatter about. So this is mint layer. So it's the same one, yeah. Mintlayer.org. Yeah, empowering Bitcoin with a sidechain. Again, it's the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? So this again is something that I'm interested in from a fundamental perspective, because it's BTC ecosystem. We've got Bitcoin altcoins for the first time ever. It's never happened before. We've never had BRC20 within a cycle. We've never had like runes, ordinals, all of these kind of things. We've never had another layer on top of Bitcoin to really trade alongside Bitcoin. So it could be really, really interesting. And it could be really good fun to trade this stuff. So yeah, it's one that I'm interested in for sure. Market cap is not loading. Not loading. Come on. Right. There you go. Market cap's low. Only 28 million. You're only just in like the top 1,000. It is ERC20, which is okay. It's Bitcoin layer 2. So is it ETH and because if it's Etherscan, it is an ERC20, which maybe a bit of red flag. If it's saying it's Bitcoin, but it's just an ERC20, that could be an odd one. Or maybe they've just got the, I don't know. But yeah, ML. I want to add that to my watch list as well. It has been on my radar. And from a technical perspective, it's one that I do like. So it did a whole load of nothing. I don't know if there's older charts out there. Poloniex, no. BitGet, no. So yeah, Mexi is the oldest chart, I believe. It did a whole load of nothing, had a huge move up, an enormous move up, and now we're right down here, like a 78.6% retrace. And where has this retrace led us back into? Okay, you have a high time frame, a nice juicy fat gap on the weekly. All right, we'll make that green. No, we make that just neutral, because gaps are fairly neutral. You got a big juicy fat gap on the weekly. And then you're looking at where these previous highs were. This initial spike up, okay, that one's pretty illiquid. But then you can look to this one. Then you can look at here, resistance, resistance, you break. And look where it is, it's right on this gap. So you're within a really, really interesting area here. Where, okay, worst case scenario, this thing goes to zero. All right, if you're gonna be buying spot, you accept that it might go to zero. But if it just comes up to taste the highs, and if we're thinking that this is a narrative that could be interesting, and it's not had a huge Okay, it has had a huge market cycle. It has had a huge market cycle, but regardless, there's a good like 300-400% that could be made from this to come back up towards the highs. I think something like this is a spot bag looks really interesting. Now for me, I'd wait for more. I'd wait for a little bit more. Okay, you're still clearly just moving down, right? So for something I would want to do if I'm looking to get into a position, like you've got these moving averages that are weighing down price. You can see here, just weighing it down, weighing it down, weighing it down. You'd want to see something, right? You want to see it go, hey, I'm alive, guys. All right, take out some of this shit. Clear some of that. Consolidate again, maybe around that 618, and then you're going for it. So then you can go, okay, look, there's our low. We bounced up to here. Look how accurate my drawings are that I come straight back into the 618 without realizing that I did. And then you do this and then you're like, yo, now I'm ready to go. And then it goes for it. Yeah, so something like that would be really, really good. Because at the moment, you're risking it just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding without showing any sign of strength or anything like that. Whereas if you wait and you go, hey, no, this thing is alive, then you don't need to be worried about it going to zero anymore. You can then move your stop to there and you've actually got a better trade. You can put more money into the trade, knowing that your risk is less. And then you can go for it afterwards. So mint layer, interesting one. Interesting one. Could you please check SXP? Appreciate it. That swipe, SXP. That's a blast from the past. Oh no, Solar Network. Solar Network. Jeez, guys, oh, this is swipe, but it's not. They've rebranded. Now this is never coming back. This is never, ever, 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 ever coming back. Sorry. SXP is swipe, right? And H bar. I'll look at that in a minute. SXP. So they call it Solar now. Yeah, it is swipe. Swipe.io. Nah, so what happened with this? Okay, this was like a payments thing, a card, right? It was like a Bitcoin card. It was massively, 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 massively hyped in the last bull run. And then Binance bought it, absorbed the entire company, and just stole all of the tech, and then just left it to die. Because it's Binance, they don't need it. So Swipe is now, this chart is now like the Binance payments card. It's the same thing. They just bought it, took it, done. Discard it. You know, this is, sorry, but this is never, ever, ever, ever coming back. Ever. It's done. It's done. I hate to like be the bearer of bad news, but when you remember, like, I'm sure this is what happened to it. So if they're still trying to do, oh my god, guess what they rebranded to? How? So guess what? If you go on their website, no one look at their website, but you know that word that when a dead company tries to revive itself, they always use one word when they rebrand. So this used to be called Swipe, SXP. It was a payments card. Binance bought them out, absorbed the company, left it to die, and now the people that are left in it have rebranded it to Solar. But if you look on the website, the first word that comes up, anyone who's watched my streams for long enough, and you'll know that this is the biggest red flag you can ever find. And this will be, if you see a token rebrand and they put one word within that, you know it's dead forever. I want to see if chat's alive here. Don't look at the website. Just tell me the word. And I say this so often. No, not revamped. Come on, guys. Come on. You guys know this. No. Mito's got it. Foundation. It's dead. It's turned into a foundation. For research purposes only. Nope. That token is never, ever, ever coming back. They're wrecked. Binance killed them. It's turned into a foundation that is not for profit. The token will never, ever return. If you see something that rebrands and they call themselves a foundation, dump that shit. Never, never, ever, ever, ever coming back. That's dead. Sorry for who asked about it, but I can't. I can't be. I'm not gonna like pretend that it's okay and that it's gonna come back and it's gonna all be fine. So yeah, iDutchy, apologies. That token's done. H-bar. I feel so bad when I say stuff like that. It might pump like crazy. H-bar, I have no real... H-bar, again, it's an old thing. I don't trade old stuff. Don't trade old stuff. It's never coming back up here again. It's just not going to happen. Unless it's like really, really, really stood the test of time. But H-bar. I hope this isn't saying it's a foundation now as well, if I look on the website for this. No, it's not good. But yeah, I don't know about H-bar. Like this, I know I still see enough people talking about it, and it's still like it's in the top 100, right? So it's in the top 100 even to this day. And you've come out of reaccumulation, so there could be a really, really like legitimately good opportunity here, especially if you're looking at those April lows as an invalidation. Like, you shouldn't be coming back down there again. You've clearly shown that there's no interest in it going this low because it just went crazy after that. So you might get like a real good trade, but even if it doesn't go to all-time highs again, it probably won't. Unless it's like late in the cycle, but you could get something decent out of this, sure. And you can just look at this like from that's a reaccumulation, right? You've got good support. You can use this order block. We spoke about these order blocks from back in 2022, May 22. They just kept acting as resistance. So leave this over here. These order blocks from back here, all right, May 2022. Again, a theme of old streams. Resistance, resistance. What's it doing? Flipping it into support. So this now should be support. You've also got a really good round number. Just 10 cents, right? 0.1. 10 cents support, where 10 cents was resistance. You flipped it, you're looking good, you can be aiming for higher prices. That, again, actually, having said that I don't really touch older stuff, the fact that it's still nicely sat in there in the top 100, it's still got a $3 billion valuation. It still seems to be a very active project. That to me looks really quite decent. I quite like that. And even if you're not getting like the full extent of this, you could aim for like $2.30, which takes you back up just to fill all of this. And you've still got a decent trade there. Still getting a good like 4R out of that. If you're buying a spot bag, you're still more than doubling your money. So, and you might get lucky. You might find that it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Because this isn't the oldest chart. Like, this was around way before this chart existed. So if I find an older chart, look, this is what I was saying, right? So I'd done this on a previous stream, and this would have been, yeah, way back here. And I would have said something similar to what I've said now, like wait for it to reclaim that level of support. So this is really old. I would have been charting this like October 23, and this would have been the zone in which to be bidding once you've seen it come back to life. And this VWAP, once you clear the VWAP and it starts to offer a support, then that's the point in which to get in. So actually, even looking back at old charts and just moving these positions over to where we are now, we've seen what I probably would have spoken about as being like something you'd want to see happen to this. Maybe I was charting it back here, I don't know, but now it's meeting those criteria for sure. It's meeting that criteria. The levels are the same. This is an old chart and the levels are exactly the same. I didn't even know that was there, but look, I'm doing the same analysis that I would have done a year ago on this, but now it's proven that it's still alive. And a lot of stuff will never prove that it's still alive, so you've got the opportunity then. This is going on my watch list too. Man, I forget how like helpful streaming is, because I end up finding stuff that I've just completely forgotten about. And you guys do all the hard work for me. It's great. It's great. Shorty. Okay, I'm going to do like 2 more. Canto. Alright, this one just has to be, you just got to fully be in it for the fundamentals, right? Fully in it for the fundamentals. You're down at the range lows. You might find that one day it looks like this. Yeah. But, Canto. Decentralized finance on light speed rails, layer 1 blockchain built to deliver. Maybe. Maybe. Aero. Oh, Aerodrome. I've heard about this one as well. Heard about this one. Again, fundamentals. Alright, the chart looks good. Chart looks decent. So what have you done? You've had the downtrend. You've started to break out of that. This looks like a nice corrective move. Alright, you've corrected this impulse. Now you're doing this one. Gap on the 4 hour. You'd want to see that act as support. What is it doing? It's acting as support. You don't want to see this drop below. You want to see this just downtrend that goes sideways and then you start to trend up. That looks okay. So just keep that really, really, really simple. The fact that you've corrected back down, run some stops, shaken out some people. Now this looks okay. But you don't want to see it start to lose this again. From a volume point of view, it's clearly going to be the POC. It spent so long there. But yeah, Aerodrome looks like again another decent opportunity. There's a lot of decent opportunities out there after we've seen this bleed. And with that, you just have your invalidation down here. Again, we're on these even numbers, like $1. $1 even looks real good support for this. So as long as you don't lose that, you only stand to lose. Back to its all-time low is 85 cents. So it's still very narrow, like the range that this is in. So again, check the fundamentals, but you're not risking a huge amount. That's 20% down and you're at all-time lows. You don't want to be holding it again to all-time lows when we should be going into a new phase of the cycle. So you're only risking 20% rather than risking this going to 0, because there's no point holding this to 0. Just get out of it if it goes below 80. So yeah. AM, I am still holding under. The biggest disappointment of my life. Like, I was one of those, like, I got caught because there was that big, so Ander, Zeph, Cubic, Space, they were like the loved projects of crypto Twitter. And I made great money on them on the way up. But I am still holding them now. I'm not holding all of them, but out of that list, like I never invested in Space. I never invested in Cubic. I never invested in these other ones that rugged and disappeared and got a bunch of those scammers involved. But Zeph and Ander, I'm still holding rather sizable positions in them. I hope they come back at one stage, but at this stage, once they do that, like, I'd taken my profit on the way up. They'd done what I needed them to do. They just never did that second wave. So, written them off. They're there. Like, I still like Ander as a project. I still like Zeph as a project. I still think Cubic has potential, but the founder's a real creep and weirdo. Which is why I never invested in it in the first place, and I probably never will. But yeah, if they come back and they do another 100x, happy days. I mean, Cass had this same issue. I remember Cass, I bought that really early, ran it up to highs, it came all the way back down again, and then it went and did 100x. So if it happens, it happens. They still look decent, but yeah. On to the next. That's crypto. Like, sometimes you're just left with bags of shit, and as long as you've taken profit on the way up and you don't like fully invest, this is why in crypto you've got to be taking profits. You just have to take profits. So if you're taking profit on it, great. If you hadn't, sucks. No. Cubic aren't scammers, I don't think. There's just so many red flags on it that I'm not personally invested in it. Oh my god, there's too many coins. All right, I'm gonna choose render. I don't need to look at the render chart. Render's like a G. Like, if you're invested in render, like, even if you're underwater, like, that ain't going nowhere. Render's a beast, man. It's an absolute beast. I know it seems high now, but render's a beast. This is gonna look like this by the end of the cycle. It's just insane. This is one of the few that's out there where you could be like, yeah, this shit is sticking around. This isn't going anywhere. Like, the new iPads hype it up. And yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, the iPad advert, like, has the render logo on it. It's like, we are powered by render. Fuck. Yeah, this isn't going anywhere. This is the kind of thing, right? When you look at like real world adoption, and I don't want to massively bull post render, but if you think about like the potential, because obviously by having a token that's like any crypto asset, it's all bullshit. Right? It's all complete and utter bullshit. Yeah? The only reason for there to be a token that exists in any way, shape, or form is for the companies to make money off of people like us. And if we can make money in the process, then great. Yeah? But the token, nothing has. Like, you look at Render, it's got a $4 billion market cap. The token is not worth $4 billion. However, if they invest that money wisely, then it can be like, it's like a stock, right? The only purpose of companies having a stock is to make money. Yeah. This is why, like, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of companies that IPO this year at the height of the bull market. You're going to get so many companies. You're going to get Whoop. They're going to IPO this year. I'm not going to buy their stock because they're going to launch it at the top. And the point of that is to generate money off of people like us so that they can exit liquidity, raise funds, raise capital in order to do the next like development within their business and blah, 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 blah. And that's where everything then comes back down again. But something like Render, if you're looking at what potential it has to be like real world, real use case, if this can get big enough, let's say by the end of the market cycle, it ends up at a $50, $100 billion valuation, right? It might end up as a $100 billion valuation. It could do. then that's $100 billion worth of money that they can potentially have within their company in order to develop. And how cool would it be if something like Render, that's at the forefront of AI, at the forefront of computing, could that one day be a competitor to NVIDIA? Could they start developing their own physical products? Because NVIDIA need a competitor. Because AMD aren't doing a good job of it. Intel aren't doing a good job of it. But something like Render, if they started going down the physical route and they made enough money from this cycle, could, maybe one day, and then you're looking at it in like 10, 20 years time, that could be a genuine thing. I don't know, just that's random thoughts. But maybe one day. But Render's a beast, it's going nowhere. Imagine like an iPad with Render GPU chips. Like, could happen. Far-fetched. but maybe. A long way down the line. Oh my god, I've got to wrap this up soon. I'm going to look at Dupe, and I'm going to look at Velo, and I'm going to call it a day. Okay? Jupiter. Chart looks decent, but I don't like it so much probably until the end of the cycle, because I think Solana system's done for now. And this is a Solana ecosystem token. So although the chart looks healthy, I don't know if we'll see outperformance from it unless it starts to tap into maybe Bitcoin ecosystem and other stuff as well. I just feel I'm not bearish. I am and I'm not bearish Solana. I just think that the time for outperforming everything is done, and therefore things like Jupiter, things like Radium, like I'm short Radium, right? I think the time for them might be a bit too late for them to have another one now, and maybe we look at that, allow other stuff to play a little bit first, and then come back to these ones later, because yeah, they're probably solid. But again, for myself, I do not want to be invested in Solana ecosystem anymore. I do believe that even the thing is, right, it may well be a case where Jupiter, let's go back to that because that was the chart you asked about. It may well be the case, and it does look like it probably will happen, that it ends up doing this. But whether it can outperform the rest of the market, like maybe it does this while other alts do this, that's the thing that I'm concerned about, because I just don't know how much the Sol ecosystem has left in it at this stage to continue to outperform, which is what we've got to aim for. But yeah, chart looks good. Right? Chart looks very, very, very good, and it probably is going to be going higher. But probably not when I play unless I see real good opportunities there. The more I look at this, the better the chart looks. Ah, shit. I'm saying this, but the more I look at it, the better the chart looks. It does look a very, 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 very good chart. Daily OB, right? This is probably also the POC of this. It is exactly the POC of this. 4 hour, what you've also got here is this gap on the 4 hour that's now been filled. I'm changing my mind, guys. This looks really good. This looks really, really good support. So yeah, fuck it. Okay, it is a Solana token, but it looks great. It looks really, really good. And it's breaking out. So yeah, forget everything I said. Forget everything. This one looks really, really solid right now. I think this goes towards, because I am long like JTO as well, which again is Solana ecosystem, and it has its own merit. All right, I longed this on its own merit, and it did come up and hit 2 take profits, and it's done really well for me. So Jupiter, yeah. I had this short, so fuck. shit. I had this short, Jupiter. I'm not holding it. I'm holding the raise short still. But now I would be very tempted to flip that long again. But essentially the idea was to take this all the way back into support down here. But yeah, it looks good. It looks good to be like, wreck my short, go for higher, right? One of those. Velo, I'm not a fan of Velo for the reason being because it's a payments solution. However, and it's been too hyped. However, again, it's coming into support. So we'd spoken about this before. I did have Velo. I bought this. It was back here in April. It was like just before I went to Dubai. We were talking about this. It had a decent run up. I sold everything because the thing is, this is like a payments solution platform. And why would a payment solution platform want their token to be really, really expensive? Like the whole point of it is if you're collecting fees and stuff, like keep the value of that, of what you're exchanging low so that it's more accessible to more people. So it doesn't make sense for this to go higher, in my opinion. However, if it holds around here, like 1.5, 1.6 cents, that's the area in which we marked out as looking like good support, and that is where it is. So by all means, you might get away with, like, I mean, the upside potential is huge, right? I just don't believe that it will get there. But like, if you want something with just insane upside, now that would have been when there was like no supply, and now you've got all the supply. But if you want to go for it, go for it. Like, you've got all of that to run into. Probably will never happen, but there's at least a trade to be made there. And yeah, that's where I had, that's the level I had marked as support. So 15 cents ish. You could look at it maybe as being interesting around here. Seeing if it can get another leg higher. See how it goes. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to call it there. This was fun. This was nice. It was good to get back to like the old style of doing proper crypto stuff again, and not being too serious about trading for a change. So we've been stuck on like real serious, real boring trading for a while. So it's good to shit talk and to look at other projects and to do that kind of thing. So thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you on the next stream again very, very soon. Bye bye.